Welcome back to the pop culture discussion. I am your host, Robert, and today we are reviewing The Mandalorian Season 3. Din Djarin and Grogu search for a way to unite and return the remaining Mandalorians to Mandalore to restore it to its former glory and take back what the Empire once stole. The top quality production value of The Mandalorian still shines with this season, with incredible results making for a fantastically shot season that looks absolutely amazing. I honestly can't floor this show when it comes to the production value. Everything looks incredible. I mean, it's a TV show and it looks just as good as these $1 million movies that are getting released at the theater. There are absolutely a handful of action sequences this season that I was like, this is legitimately better than so many of the action sequences we've gotten in the Star Wars films. And this is just a TV show that they are just delivering every week for us. The Mandalorians are flushed out like never before with increasingly intriguing character arcs. We get way more to do with the Mandalorians this season than previous seasons. It's not just Din that we are spending time with. It is literally every Mandalorian we have seen from the first two seasons. They are coming back, working as a team, trying to unite together. So this season actually felt more like The Mandalorians than just The Mandalorian. And if you are a huge fan of the world building and character arcs of the Mandalorians within the Star Wars universe, I think this season is really going to satisfy the fans when it comes to the episodes that are completely focused on the full group of the Mandalorians. The world building of The Mandalorian continues to be extremely creative and shines super bright in this season. Grogu is more adorable than ever and is given way more to do with the action sequences this season. He is still absolutely hilarious. And now with his Jedi training he's had with Luke, he's absolutely had an upgrade, but he also gets another upgrade this season. Without really spoiling anything, he's basically given a mech so that he can help out in the action sequences. And it's the perfect mix of adorably hilarious, but also absolutely badass at the same time. I mentioned earlier that some of the action sequences in this season are better than the movies, and the true standouts here are the spaceship battles are incredible. Honestly, the way that they're shot is just super immersive, and the CGI and practical effects are just top quality, making these action sequences insanely entertaining. And when it comes to jetpack Mandalorian action, I would say this season is by far the absolute best. We get a jetpack battle at the end of the season. It is honestly right at the top for some of my favorite Star Wars action of all time. The villains are even more intimidating than ever, making for a great challenge for our heroes. Moff Gideon gets a serious upgrade this season, and he is legitimately scary. Like, he pulls some moves that you're like, oh wow, okay, is this guy gonna give Vader a run for his money? Not quite, but pretty close. And when his motives are revealed this season, it makes all of his decisions from the previous two seasons all completely make sense. It was pretty predictable and pretty obvious what he was aiming to do, but when it's revealed, you're like, of course, that is actually a pretty strategic idea and a very intimidating concept. The emotional beats of the character arcs still hit pretty hard this season. I wouldn't say they're as good as season 2. I would say they're probably better than season 1 though. There's absolutely a few things that happen here that were like, oh damn, that sucks. Oof, that hit me right in the feels. So I can happily say the heart of this show is still going strong this season. I was extremely satisfied with the end of this season, and I would be completely okay if they end the show here. The way that it's wrapped up is honestly perfect in my opinion. In saying that though, they absolutely put a few little story beats in there to continue for a season 4 if they wanted to, but I'm gonna be happy either way. If they do or don't make a season 4, it's a win-win situation for me. In saying all those positives about this season, it's absolutely got some flaws, so I'm just going to power out those real quick so it justifies my rating at the end of this video. The main plot of this season is stretched really thin, making for some real lackluster storytelling until the final few episodes. There was definitely an idea that they were going for this season, but it really doesn't kick off until the final 2 episodes, which in my opinion is a bit of a shame. We've only got 8 episodes here, and you're dragging it out for 6 and then going full throttle in the last 2. Don't get me wrong, the last 2 is some of the most perfect Star Wars I've ever seen. But the fact that we took 6 slower episodes to get there, this season absolutely took a hit when it came to its pacing. There is one episode in particular that was a huge waste of time, and speaking of pacing, it brought it to an absolute halt. They focused on a side character for 80 to 90% of that episode, and it was a 45-minute episode. We got like 5 minutes of Mando and 40 minutes of this character that no one cares about. I thought maybe they were going to loop back around to it at the end of the season and it was going to be important for something, but no, it really wasn't. And it's absolutely an episode when I'm going back and re-binging this, I will probably either skip this entire episode or just watch the Mando scenes because there is a really good action sequence at the beginning of this episode. But yeah, like I just said, we only have 8 episodes here, and the fact that they are giving one of these episodes away to a character that we don't care about was just such a waste. It honestly felt like a completely different show, and that is definitely a bad thing when it comes to The Mandalorian. I just want to watch The Mandalorian. I don't want to watch something else. Speaking of bad episodes though, there was one more terrible episode that was just an absolute cringe fest because it was so distracting. There were 3 big celebrity cameos in it, 3 people that should probably never be in Star Wars. One in particular because she is a terrible actress and was by far the worst part of the episode. She just shouldn't be in any movies or TV shows because she is not an actress. And another one, he is usually a comedy actor. He can play serious, but he wasn't playing serious here, and he just felt really out of place in this episode. And then another actor who is a great actor, but he was just really distracting and just felt like a cameo as well. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the droid stuff in it, but this is probably another episode that I would just skip if I went back and did a binge of this season. And there's absolutely a couple of scenes where the Mandalorian definitely should have died, but his plot armor was way too thick and the villains just couldn't penetrate it and kill him. It just made for some really convenient action sequences for him. There are 2 scenes where he gets captured. One, he gets captured for way too long and absolutely should have died. Someone leaves to get someone to go rescue him and bring that person back to help him escape. They are gone for ages. He definitely should have died in that time. And then another time, he definitely should have just been killed, but the villain decides to take him away and he immediately escapes. I know he's the main character, so they're not going to kill him off, but why put him in these situations where it's so easy to kill him and you have to write up some dumb reason that he survived? It just makes for some super convenient writing, and it just feels lazy. In saying all those negatives, I still had a great time with this season. The creative world building, spectacular action, adorable comedy, and satisfying character arcs are still all top quality. It's just a shame that the storytelling, pacing, tone, and convenient writing took a hit this season. And for that, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It really pains me to give The Mandalorian anything less than a 10. The first 2 seasons are perfect in my eyes. I honestly can't flaw them at all. So to watch this season and to be like, damn, there are actually some huge legitimate flaws here, was just so disappointing. Have you seen The Mandalorian Season 3? Did you enjoy it as much as the first 2 seasons? Or did you think it was way better or way worse? I've absolutely heard some mixed reviews from this from my friends and just seeing it on the internet. So I'd absolutely love to know your opinion on the show in the comments below as well. If you enjoyed my review or are just enjoying my content in general and you haven't subscribed yet, a subscription goes a long way for the channel. It means so much to me and I would really appreciate it if you could click that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching my video and I will see you in the next one.